Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club, where we read some really cool books and sometimes we don't. But that's what we're all about. Welcome. We read volume stories and arcs that either ourselves or you choose. And today it is the latter, and we are joined by our Herd Choice winner. It is Rich from Comics vs. the World on Instagram, and he is actually here for the very first time live, and he's going to be here for the whole episode this time because
Yay!
yay! Because
The
Rich,
landmark.
you're always that guy in the chat, and you always say, "Hey, just joining in. I'll catch a rewind. See you later." But now you're here for the whole thing.
It's not, after 9 o'clock. It's just too late for me.
Bedtime.
That's it. It's my
Just call it
bedtime.
quits, mate. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You catch the rewind, and you're always there. You're always commenting at the end, and it's brilliant. So it's really cool to actually have you here for once.
Thank you.
I,
Good to
I
be
just noticed you got a Flash T-shirt on. Is that just because Scott's the host this evening? So you thought I'll appease Scott by wearing a Flash T-shirt?
Get an extra point off me at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
anyway-
intentional. It just coincidence.
But yes, for everyone who is listening on the podcast, my name is Scott, and as always, I am joined by Shane
Ahoy hoy!
and Philip.
Hola!
And today we are going to be reading Rich's choice. It is Snotgirl Volume 1, Green Hair Don't Care. Written by Bryan Lee O'Malley, art by Leslie Hung, coloured by Mickey Quinn, and lettered by Murray Odomo. So yes, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's go ahead and say hi to everyone first of all, and then we'll get a synopsis in. So first up, we got Cable's Lost Son. First in, hey up nerds. Lee is howdy ho. How you doing? Nice to see you, Lee. Martin's here. Evening all. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well. We've got Highland G. Sup party people. We are the party people, of course. JWD, hey John, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Kevin Wells, good friend of Comic Airwaves, he is here. Thank you for joining, buddy. Hope you enjoy the show. And I think that is it. And Lee has also said, this is where Rich reveals he's only introducing the comic and then watching the rest on the rewind. Hey guys, this is what the book's about. See ya, bye. So yes, that is everyone who has joined so far. So, Rich, as this was your pick, would you mind please telling us what the book is about?
I will give it a go.
Okay.
I think we'll discover as we go through the book isn't quite always what it seems on the surface, but the synopsis is Lottie Person, aka Snotgirl, appears through the magic of social media and her carefully curated fashion blog to be living her best life. But underneath all that clever marketing, she's actually just an anxiety-riddled allergy sufferer who hates all her friends and who may or may not have just murdered someone.
Dun dun dun. It's a very good hook, I think. But so thank you very much for that. Phil, do you want to kick us off on your initial thoughts? I mean, by what your name is, Snotgirl, whatever hair, really don't care. Then I don't think we're going to start off well. But let's go anyway. Tell us your initial thoughts.
You really want me to start off on such a bad note? Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, let me just say, Leslie Hung, I just wish she was an artist on Sex Criminals last week because that would have been hilarious. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. Obvious reasons. To be honest, guys, I don't know what this book was about. I don't get it. I am a millennial, so apparently my age bracket, but this is very much even like what's after millennials. Like I don't know, like the whole social
Gen Z.
media is it like whole social media reliance, dependence to kind of live because you obviously see Snotgirl living this life separate from her online profile life, and it's actually quite sad in a way. But I don't know the purpose of the story other than to see how this girl suffers with allergies and has a special tablet that makes them go away. But then she makes a lot of mistakes, and I don't really know what to say about it because as a character, she was hugely annoying, like really really annoying, and I don't know. I'm hoping you guys can change my mind on this because at the minute it's scoring pretty low.
Okay. All right. Shane?
I'm torn because when I got to the last page, and for the most part I was just bored, but then I wasn't expecting it to just end. Like, I kind of did want more. I wanted to I do want to read on a bit just to know what happens, but that it was very boring. It felt very slow, very padded, with a lot of scenes that were just connecting scenes to just get from one place to another. It was just, here's a scene of her at a party. Now she's talking to the police officer. We don't know what that was about because it cuts away from that straight away. And now she's talking to her friend, and now she's talking to her intern. It was just scene put together. Like, it was a very thin through line. And it was just very confusing. Was it real? Was it not real? How could it not be real? Because she didn't start taking the pills till after she met Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
Cool girl. It was after she met her, so it just got really confusing. And then it's like, is she seeing her? Is she real? But then everyone acknowledges that she's there as well. So I don't know what they were going for. If they were going for the imaginary alter ego of her, this normal person, and then like try to make us think it wasn't real, but too many characters in the book were interacting with this other person for it not to be real. I got very lost. And that pretty though, weren't it?
I thought this book was very cleverly written. This has a lot of low-key Fight Club vibes in terms of the mental side of things. You're questioning while you're reading, is the meds messing with her? Is the anxiety messing with her? Did Cool Girl, did she die? Is she actually alive? Is she just in Snotty's head? And stuff like that. And is that kind of questioning that's keeping me reading the book, keeping me intrigued.
But that's the thing, though. It doesn't work because she took the pill after she met her. And then people were interacting with Cool Girl. That was the problem.
Yeah, and I never thought it was the pill. To me, it never jumped out at me that it was the pill that was doing it. But yeah, I'll just be honest about it that I have read on. However, I don't remember what happens. Because and that's nothing bad about the story. That is just how my brain works. I recently reread all 9 volumes of Saga and completely forgot the big cliffhanger at the end. So I just don't remember things like that. So it's like reading it for the first time.
Okay.
So
have you reread this for today?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So what was your initial thoughts of what you've read today?
I mean, to start with, I just thought it was fun because it did make me laugh several times.
Yeah, same.
I think the character of Lottie is she's one of those ones where you could easily hate her, but there's something about her anxiety and the fact that all of the people around her are crappy people that you kind of relate to her a little bit more. And for me, I didn't end up hating her. I liked her as a character. And then the mystery of it all about Caroline. I really was. That's the one bit I was a bit. I was definitely going with the Fight Club idea up until near the end, and then she did definitely interact with someone, quite obviously. So then I was like, So yeah, that did throw me a little bit. But
Charlene dead too. Who knows? God.
See, this is the thing. Maybe I was slightly unfair. Like the whole Caroline thing, which I kind of got the vibe from the off that she was off. Like she was too good to be true, in terms of being the cool girl, whatever else. And there was obviously something more to her. And you seen that again towards the end, whenever what's called the girl who stalks her, wears her old dresses and has her old boyfriend. What's her name? Charlene. So clearly, like, what do you think of them two initially? Is like roles reversed in my mind. I think Caroline's more the stalker because she's like new upcoming and knows all about Lottie, calls her snotty and stuff. So there's more about her. What's that? as Shane was saying, that kept me interested to a certain point. But again, I just can't relate to the character of Lottie because she's just so oblivious to kind of real life. Like there was times when these things were happening to other people, and she was like, "Oh, it's not important. My thing's important. I'm important. I'm the most important thing," and I can't relate to that to the point where I can't get on board with it. And that took me out of the story, I suppose. But definitely the Caroline and the kind of Charlene stuff would be something I kind of want to know. But I'd rather Rich just tell me and not make me read it. If he could just, tell me at some point,
Okay.
after the show,
Right.
I don't want to read it.
So we got a comment from John saying he absolutely loved this story. There's a mystery behind it that completely drew him in. He read it all in one sitting in about an hour and immediately bought volume 2 and 3 and read them as well. So clearly there's something going on about this story that has drawn him in so much. And I think I'm like similar. Like as soon as I finished volume 1, I went looking for 2 and 3 to buy them, and they're sitting in a basket ready for me to buy. I really did enjoy it that much. And Martin as well, he's saying he's agreeing with you, Shane, saying that's how he felt with the ending of the volume. Not knowing what was going on was the only thing that kept him interested.
I thought it's like might be a little bit polarizing because it really does. I think it hinges on whether or not you can sort of connect with the character of Lottie.
Yeah.
Because it's virtually impossible to connect with any of the other characters in it, I think. So it hinges on whether or not you can find something in that character.
I did like about her the fact that she does have quite contrasting life, like in terms of what you see in her on social media, this kind of popular kind of I suppose appears confident and whatever. It's a fashion blogger. It's a fashion blogger, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're obviously away from that. She is kind of, suffering from debilitating anxiety, to the point where she can't, get up and do things, whatever, for herself. And that's quite I'll say endearing like trait. It's like you want to kind of see her, overcome that type of thing and whatever else. But again, all the other stuff, I just can't ignore it for me. And I do have another gripe, right? So just the title, Snotgirl. Okay.
Yeah.
There is some snot, but I thought maybe it would have like super snot or some sort of like snot should like blow her nose at you and like acid would burn through you or something like this,
Jesus.
Like I just wanted the snot to be relevant, like in terms of like be something that's dangerous or deadly or whatever.
Yeah.
Like for some reason I was thinking Tank Girl in my head. I was thinking we were going to have a good fun story like Tank Girl, but we didn't get that at all.
No,
This is like an
You
episode
didn't
second.
get that at all.
No, what we got was Clueless 2016. She's it was very much Cher and her friends, wasn't it?
Well,
just this vapid, self-involved group of friends.
Okay. Well, let's take a break from that and let's bring up the art for a bit.
Oh, that was fine. That was grand.
The art,
Yeah.
Personally,
That's fine.
I think Leslie Hung nailed it. I think she was great. I loved all the outfits all the different girls and guys are wearing. I particularly really liked when there was really like close-up pictures, drawings of the faces and just how detailed they were, and they just looked beautiful. They just like really pretty, beautiful girls. And it was great, and the outfits were awesome as well. She was really good at drawing, the lifestyle of a fashion blogger, and doing all these really trendy outfits. But I'm wondering, this book was written in 2016, wasn't it? So when will that stop being trendy? Like if I read this in another 10 years, would I go, that outfit doesn't look great,
Yeah. I mean, I already thought, and this isn't about the art, but just with the dating of it, like she's a fashion blogger, but they never used the term like social media influencer, which would have been, if you were writing it now, you would have used that term in it.
Yeah.
So it's already just dated it a little bit. The art I thought was like, I wrote down that I thought it was great, but nothing about it for me was like, like just like incredible. Like, there was no, when we were picking pages, and I don't know if you guys found the same thing, it's hard to pick a page because it's a really consistent good art, but there's nothing like that sort of really wows.
this isn't like an
Too-
action book which has its own like awesome splash pages of a fight
Yeah.
or something fantastic happening, and but this is a type of story that won't happen, and that's
No.
okay. And we've all picked pages gratefully.
I do feel though that they paid too much attention to the characters and none to the backgrounds. Like there are just pages upon pages with no background drawn in at all. It's just a plain color, and unless they tell you where they are, you have no idea where these people are having this conversation. Or you could maybe draw a door in the background or a window or something every once in a while. There
There
are
are
only
some
lines.
doors and windows. That's being
Yeah,
harsh.
there are doors and windows. Okay, well, shall we show off some pages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Rich, let's start off with you then. Let's go off with your your favorite page. Why did you pick this page?
A couple of reasons. One, I really like the colours in the book, and most of the pages are really bright and vibrant. While she's being her like perfect self in front of the public, and then when she's sort of got these kind of scenes, which is showing her anxiety and her like behind the scenes person, it mutes it down a lot, which I really liked. And then I just think this page really sold you that it was, for me, less about the snot and more about the anxiety.
Yeah. It's anxiety that causes the snot, isn't it? And I totally get you there. When it comes to like the darkening of the scenes when she is in kind of in this state. So it's all like when she's normal, it's always like everything's fabulous and bright and happy and colourful, and then when you get into this, she's even wearing like baggy clothes. For me, like her socks would just looked a bit dirty, and just she just looks like in her comfies while she's like washing her other clothes, you know what I mean? And it's good to see the real her and like what she finds comfortable.
I think they've done this quite well in the book, and that's similar to the page I picked. Like they really kind of showcase a good level of anxiety. Like even the fact that she's like curled in like a fetal position on her phone, like she's so worried about what's on her phone, she's curled up that kind of way, like you're saying. And like I think there are other scenes in the book that they do that really well to portray it. It's not easy to draw, things like that. Like how do you, like we mentioned earlier, how do you draw anxiety? How do you draw that? That's just how you do it. That's how you do it.
It's really good. All right, well let's move on to yours then, Phil.
Again, similar in a way, only this is the part where the police detective guy, who I still have no idea what his involvement was, but you can tell
fancied her, right?
Yeah, but you can tell this sense of unease. Like he obviously knows a lot about her. He's a follower of hers, and she's kind of sitting there and thinking, "Who is this creep?" And you can tell this kind of unnerving, like position she's in. I just thought that was a really good way to portray that. Like if any of the girl feels under threat, or what's this guy taking out of his pocket, or what's his intentions here, she looks quite, enclosed, tight-knit and stuff. Yeah, it's uneasy and stuff. And I thought, not that the art page is particularly well in terms of that aspect, but just the way they kind of portray this on the page, I thought throughout the book it was quite good that way to portray this unease and this unnerving stuff. And that was the reason why I picked this. And like, what is the cop's deal? Like, what is this?
I've
Found
got
some
my
bloody
theories.
pills in a girl's bathroom and leads back to Lottie.
Yeah, but why? That's the thing, and I'm really hoping we do find it out in the later volumes. Unfortunately, we don't really find it out in this one. We'll go on to my one. So this is probably my favourite page, purely just because of the way Lottie looks in that top right panel. She looks gorgeous. And I don't know what it is. It's the kind of sparkliness and the way that she catches John's attention. And I was saying to Shane, like I picked this page because I was like, I'll go for an outfit. This is a fashion blogger. It's a story about a fashion blogger. I'll go for my favorite outfit and the kind of look. And this is what I like the most out of all the outfits she had. And I think that panel there is where she looks the best out of this whole book.
I will just say, both you and Phil have both picked pages with no background art at all, proving my point.
It doesn't matter. Like I didn't have a problem with the fact that there wasn't any art. Like I was able to follow where we were and what was going on, and I don't think it. There's always a need for, massively, a building or a door or a window or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. Like I'm not reading this and looking at this for what's in the background. I'm looking at it for the interactions with the characters and stuff like that. And I don't need.
Yep.
background.
But it takes me out. If there's nothing in the background, it takes me out of the realism of what I'm reading. So the interaction doesn't feel real because they're just in this void, just having a conversation.
Right.
But in my pick, you'll see she's on this kind of like really nice looking chair, and behind the chair she has this kind of like the sun rays, almost like the light behind her throne. So there's something, there's some detail, but you are right what you're saying. And even on the top left hand panel, there's a good bit of shading going on. Dark red, the light red. There is something, but you are right, like you're saying, a door or window. Just draw a door or window every so often.
In full circle though, they're using the background to show like the emotion and the feel of it, rather than just having her in the same room in all those panels. It's like the first one, it's got the darkness to show she's suddenly uneasy, but then you're seeing her as he sees her, so she's got the glowing light.
I'm with you.
And that's fine now and then, just not every single page.
Okay, all right, Shane, let's go into your page. What is this about?
Where's the background, Shane?
I can't find it. I was looking. This was just her breakdown at the party. It got to me. As much as I can't see myself in the character, I still really feel for her when she's like so convinced that this girl is out to get everything in her life. And this is right after she's pushed her in the pool, and she's trying to justify why she did it. I mean, she doesn't know why she did it. She took the pill and it just, something in her brain just, switched, and she just walked past her and pushed her in the pool. But this is just her breakdown to her ex, and I just thought it was really quite sad because she's not over him. And it's only been, what did she say, 5 months? Or no, 3 months. It's been 3 months.
Yeah. They were together for 5 years.
Yeah. So she's not over him, and it's just her thinking that he should understand when she's like, she put real milk in my coffee.
It's one of those things that when you say it out loud, you're like, oh crap, that doesn't actually sound like a good reason to do what I've just done.
But if anyone should understand you, it should be the person you've been with for over 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, and it just broke my heart for her.
Yeah,
it's just drawn so well as well. Look at you, she just goes from like normal, like just depressed, then kind of angry, then tears, and then it's
There's there's lots of cool moments like that in there. So yeah, those are all our pages. We do have one page sent in from JWD Comics from John, and this was his page here. It was the last but one page where Lottie is pushing Charlene off. This is the one time I will agree with you, Shane. Yeah, is Lottie doing it?
Oh no, yeah. See, no, I would have. I assume Lottie did that. See, that's the thing. There's no interaction between her and
the hand in that second panel that's pushing it has the blood on, and the bloody hand is Caroline's hand.
I've just noticed that.
And plus, you're right, the position off her, like her to right hand.
But is she really there? Is she really bleeding? Is she really there?
Yeah, because then in a further panel down, it's Lottie's hand that's out.
Yeah.
Has she just pushed her, or is she reaching to grab her?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're installing a bit more intriguing to me here. Like, I want to know more of this now.
You should come every week.
Yeah. But here,
you should be here in the live shows.
Shane, there's a wall in the background that has little kind of like data reel or something. A bit of detail.
There you go. Happy chappy down here now.
I mean, like, this was a page that really intrigued me anyway. It was me, like, it was kind of making me go, right, now I need to read on. But now that I didn't clock that about the hands, but now that you've mentioned that, I'm going to buy these right now. I'm going to buy the rest of the story right now. But yeah, thank you very much, John, for that picture.
And that's a big deal, because Scott doesn't buy anything without being, forced into it a wee bit, so that's good.
Yeah, it's true. Right. I need to catch up on the comments a little bit first. So, we did have a hello. Oh, God. I've just jumped. Okay. We've got a hello from Comic Bound. He said, just dropping in to say that I can't stay, but we'll catch a replay. Someone's got to take over for Rich now that you've pinned him down for a whole show. So, yeah, thank you, Adam. Lovely to see you. And then, so we've got John as well. He thinks that it gets a lot right about the influencer, YouTuber, fangirl lifestyle community type thing. His sister is a fairly large YouTuber, and in certain parts really did remind him of the stories that she had told him. If she wants to, I don't know, boost the nerd herd to get us bigger audience, whatever, that's fine. Thanks, John. Liam's getting really frustrated at the fact that the word count on the comments isn't enough, and he really wants to put his thoughts through. And the only thought he did put through at the start of this was the story is what hooked him, but he thought the art was just okay. Kevin is here as well. He's saying Philly agrees. He thought the pills were going to give a super snot.
That needed to be like I was thinking at the start, like Aliens, the movie Alien or Aliens.
Yeah,
like, you know, that's what I was thinking. That's what I thought the snot was going to do, something like that. Something. It's quite irrelevant having the snot, really, to be honest.
It's true. It's true. Kevin thought the art makes him think of a Webtoons comic.
Yeah,
He does. Yeah.
I mean, there are some webtoons that are really good at, and some webtoons are really bad at.
Yeah. Just a quick hello to Matt from Mystery Nights as well, and Andy from Perpetual Comics. And he's like, "Comics is the world. How's it going?" And he's also complimenting us on our beard game as well. So, well, maybe not me, but probably you two. Yeah.
I got beard envy tonight. Rich is a good beard.
If you actually saw mine, though, like up close, you'll see how just untamed it is. Yours is nicely manicured, and I need some advice.
YouTube life.
Yours like straight though. We're changing this weekly show to the beard life. How do you groom your beard?
And Liam has had a bigger comment now. He said maybe that's the effect they were going for. Shane, what I'm wondering what was that? But
Background.
He says yes, because his question was how much of this is actually happening. Is it real, or is it a world that Lottie has made up to represent her mental health struggle? So similar to me with the whole Fight Club kind of vibes as well.
so yeah, could her friends all be just parts of her personality? The normal half, the cute half, the cool part. Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, like, this is the kind of thing, like, you know, you are reading this and you are questioning this kind of stuff, and like on the face of it, it just seems like this kind of ditzy girl, just loving social media and making sure everything's perfect, and she's like wearing the best stuff and whatever. But then it has this much deeper type of thing going on, but you don't really pick up on it if you're not looking for it, if you know what I mean. So Philip, yes. looking at you. So yeah, story wise, Shane, what did you think?
I love a good like murder mystery.
Yeah.
So that's what I was expecting up to the point. Like you get to the point. At first you're just a little bit bored following this girl. Personally, I was a little bit bored following this girl. And then she meets this really cool girl and they go out for a night, and then, you know, she pops this new pill and all of a sudden this girl turns up dead and you're like, damn, what are these pills doing to her? She's gonna be like just a serial killer or something. I'm like, I'm down for that. Totally down for that. And then like nothing's said about this girl. There's no reports of her body being found or anything at all, and then she just shows up. And so I'm really into that mystery. All the other parts at the parties and with her friends, I couldn't care. I couldn't care. I don't know them, so every time they show up, I don't care. I've had no time with them to care, unfortunately. So I only care about Lottie. So when she's having those parties or any of that, I'm sort of zoning out. But I'm really enjoying the mystery part of it. So I want more of that.
I think the friends are purposely written that you don't care about them because they are jackasses. Really, all the friends, they're all fake friends. Even the normal girls, you know, it's just something about her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's obviously a bit of a creep as well. Stuff like this here, like, and the other girl who goes to Japan or something willy nilly, like they're a bit bitchy as well, type thing. It's just like I don't think you're meant to care about them. I think they are meant to be hated in a way.
I think they are supposed to be like caricatures, and that's why she gives them the nicknames, so that then the writing can play up to that and make them caricatures.
In fact, the only one I quite liked was her intern. The
Yeah,
girl who
Esther.
then, she keeps referring to being unpaid and stuff like this. Here, some paid intern and takes up a real job, like feels really guilty about it as well. Like the fact that she took a real
Yeah.
paying job and
I
stuff
quite,
like.
I quite liked it when they did the little description thing. It was like name, Esther, job, intern, age, unpaid. But yeah, sorry, Phil. Carry on.
No, but that was probably the only side character I really cared about. Although I did quite like, even though I forget her name, Charlene. I quite liked her
Yeah.
because she was the real victim in this. Because whenever Lolly went to get a coffee the next day with her random photographer woman, she was like hiding in the back room with a sign saying "You're banned from the shop." Like she's the real victim in this, in my mind.
But see, do we think, because you can have it either or. So did she put the milk in on purpose? Did she start dating her boyfriend on purpose? And was she buying her clothes on purpose? She did say she just clicked on a link and bought the dress, but did she? It's a bit coincidental, isn't it?
This is the intrigue because there's definitely more to it. But obviously, she's been pushed off, wherever she's been pushed off of the edge, so we don't know what's going to happen with
We
that.
don't know how high up they are. It might just be like one step.
Yeah, that's what
There was no
thought.
background to tell us
yeah.
how high up she was.
And I was like, did she fall off a like 100-foot building, or is she just gone fallen onto a bit of patio and just gone
as Seamus, if there was a skyscraper in the background or if it's like a rose bush, you'd be able to tell how high she's fallen from,
It's definitely a height of some sort. Like
it's dark, it's pitch black, so it's got to be high enough that the fact that light.
No, the very last page, the page after the one we saw, you're kind of looking up at Lottie, looking over the edge. I mean, you still can't fully tell, but it's a bit of a drop at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder with the writing style as well. Like, I do feel that the writer is purposely trying to, what's the word? I don't want to swear, but like he's trying to take the mickey out of like these type of people, like millennials and their influencers and their social medias. He's trying purposely to take the piss out of them. Can't think of the good way to word that, but and I just don't know if it hits. I don't think that's the story. I think he's just using it as a kind of vehicle to get to that point where he just wants to make fun of it in a way, but doesn't quite hit for me.
I wouldn't say he's making fun. I think this is actually what happens. I think with fashion blogger kind of life. It's always like
Sorry.
Go on. That's all right. Go on.
I was going to say, I think he's probably making fun of certain aspects, like certain characteristics that, like maybe he's been witness to or whatever. But I don't necessarily think. I think it's trying to at the same time shine a light on it, and the anxiety and depression or whatever else that it can cause as well. I think there's like. He's probably trying to balance the two, but I mean, the one thing that I came with just a little bit unsure of was, I mean, he's a bloke writing women, and we're four blokes reading about women. So I don't know, I don't know that we know whether it comes across like 100% sort of accurate to what a young fashion blogger would be.
I'm willing to bet it's not 100% accurate, to be honest.
We've got some theories from Liam. He's saying, so cool girl is who Lottie wants to be, but after an anxiety attack due to allergies, she believes she'll never be able to get there, thus killing her off. Right? Then about a week later, she's feeling better about herself, and cool girl is back alive. Charlene is also referred to as Baby Lottie, and Lottie makes it clear that she struggles to let go of the past. I'm liking this. Lottie has convinced herself that she needs to let go of or kill Charlene in order to become cool girl. So is Charlene just past Lottie? Because they did refer to it as Baby Lottie, didn't they? As when it was like she's wearing the clothes that you wore when you were first starting out as blogging, and she looks the same as you. And
there's a picture of her. She looks identical to her, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Before the green hair and stuff, she looked identical to her. So yeah.
So is Charlene and Cool Girl just literally figments of the imagination from Lottie, and is she just going through a massive mental health episode And this is why I want to keep reading, because these kind of questions, I'm really intrigued, 100%
maybe
intrigued.
there's some truth in that in terms of Charlene as like baby Lottie, like that's how she once was, and maybe she's thinking if I go back to that, like hit restart and start all this kind of journey again, that's what I want to get to. But then there's like this figment for imagination. What's her Caroline, the cool
Yeah.
girl.
Cool girl.
The cool girl, she's obviously then wants to go, don't be silly, you're snotty, like you own this type of thing. So maybe there is like it's like the devil and the angel each shoulder kind of telling you what to do, and she's being pulled left and right center, and
Yeah.
maybe that is her. This is all about her internal struggle or something like that. Whatever. But
Yeah. What about the other girls? You had Norm girl and cute girl. What
Other
did you
parts of her
think?
personality.
Yeah, like are they involved in this, or are they literally her friends? And she's just giving them these nicknames, and
well, they're influencing her too, because that's she acts a certain way at the parties, for example, or doesn't want to appear at one of the parties because she thinks she killed Cool Girl. So yeah, maybe that is it. And if that's the case, where this just comes to a whole other level, which I don't know if I'm ready for yet, to be honest.
Too much to think about.
If that's the case, they needed more clues during volume 1 to keep people hooked, because there's not enough for me in this volume.
I'm hooked.
There's not enough either way.
JWD is hooked.
See, I agree with Shayna. It's one of the notes I've taken down, that there is some intrigue, but not enough happened in this volume. I think if you're going to kind of set up a series, give us more for the first volume. I'm glad that you guys are hooked and you guys want to read on, but I think like have the bigger net. Get more of us in there as well. And I don't know if this book, as a volume 1, I don't think that book did that for me. I want to know, but I just don't know. I want to read it.
Just jump on the Wikipedia page and read it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'll just watch a review on YouTube or something. Someone will tell me. But it's just, like I say, give us a little bit more. Was it 5 issues? Just give us more. Because as Shane mentioned earlier on, whenever Caroline died, or you thought she died, had her head, for like 2 issues, she didn't appear. And then she was worried about she was getting the text, and she was worried about the police and stuff and why people were getting in contact with her. Like, do people know what I've done? Blah blah blah. But like, again, if it's a murder mystery,
whose echo was that?
I think it was Rich.
If it's a murder mystery, then give us more. Don't just kind of. But then it's not a murder mystery, I suppose. Now we've kind of established that. Not really.
But like the police scene just ended. Like he went there with the bloody pills, and then it just cut to a completely different scene. It's like
I did find some of the cuts were a little bit odd in places. There was, I think, whoever's page it was at the party where she's running away from her ex-boyfriend, and then it's only a few pages later you see him again, and they're at one of the parties. And she's like, how's Charlene? And he says, I ain't seen her for a week. And he's acting almost like a completely different person. And it's been a week, but you've only turned a few pages. And I did feel like the timeline wasn't very clear, especially since sometimes it actually put the time of the day on the page. But it didn't tell you what day it was. So it was a little bit...
But then we knew it was New Year's Eve. And then...
Yeah.
But that's all we knew.
In that scene as well, Rich, you mentioned, like, he took a selfie. Is that the way he took a selfie with her? And then says, don't post that. I just, don't put it online because...
and then he just turned, didn't he?
I didn't like him. And character, he was 2 different characters.
Yeah. And this might add something to the fact that maybe this is all Lottie's interpretation of her life type thing, because he was a jackass, but then it was nice sometimes as well. And then the other guy who was the Norm girl's fiance, who was giving her what was the eyes? He gave her the eyes. Yeah, Ashley, that's the one. Sexy eyes, or there's an name for it, like I can't remember. I don't want to say
F me eyes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And that's another thing too that I had a problem with the story. There was quite a lot of things redacted.
Yeah, like, they just scribbled out the swear words, didn't they?
Not even just that, like people's names. Like if they're referring to, this other influencer was maybe shagging this person, they redacted that name. But like just make something up. We're not gonna know who they are. Like,
Yeah.
just
Fashion brands were blacked out as well.
were they? But they don't
Yeah,
have to
when
be
she-
real brands. Like, if you made something up, we would get it. We would understand it. So maybe I don't know if that was
Yeah.
intentional or I don't know. It's odd.
So was her walking in on Norm Girl's boyfriend or fiance in the bathroom where he's completely naked with Cool Girl? Was that real? Because he acknowledges that there's two people standing in
Yeah.
the doorway.
He does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's your
it's
friend
this
or
kind of
something.
stuff that's confusing, but
Just needed to be a
intriguing
little
as
bit clearer for my personal taste, and then I probably would read on.
well. Right.
I can't tell if Scott's disappointed in us or not, Shane. I don't know.
But super glad
Yeah.
that you enjoyed it, and we'll read on.
Yeah, like I don't think you guys were like utterly disappointed by this. Like we've been doing this for a year and a half now, right? And
You know when we're disappointed.
I know when you're hating a book. I think for you guys, this is quite an average read with a little sprinkling of intrigue. That's how I think you guys are with it at the moment. And I
Well,
really
what I
hope
will
that-
say is I
Go
have
on.
increased my score after talking about it.
Good, nice.
And I will
A
say, when
little smidge.
I if this was an extra 50 pages with another issue, I wouldn't have been annoyed. You know, had it gone on just to give you that little closure to volume 1, so it had a nice, you can read volume 1 on its own feel to it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
because you
love
like that, didn't you? You like
I do.
to.
yeah. I did think that when I got to the end. I thought, oh, this isn't one of those Shane volumes where it's got a nice ending. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a slightly polarizing one, but as I was reading through it, I thought it's probably quite hard to read it and really dislike it and not at least have a little bit of fun with it.
Oh, I definitely laughed at some bits.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
just-
know what you mean. Like this could be a Marmite book, couldn't it? It could be you love it, you hate it. But I don't think it would be a love it, you hate it. I think it would just be more of a you vibe with it, like you understand the thing they're going for, or you don't.
For what it's worth, like I'm quite glad the book exists in terms of it's not superheroes, it's not like aliens and invasions. It's it's different, and it doesn't even follow the same kind of trend as like a lot of indie books. Like they're not trying to create this huge big world. Really, it's just this is Lottie's world, and I mean there's going to be people who are younger than me who will relate to this book more and will maybe get the whole influencer stuff more than me. And I'm glad that book exists for other people to read. There's no question.
Yeah,
It's just I'm 36 years of age. It's just hard to kind of me to relate to a girl. Is she 24 in the book? She's
25 3/4.
25 3/4, yeah. And even that, just the kind of personality and stuff, and the whole. Even though I'm on Instagram, I'm not this level of influencer, and it's hard for me to kind of those elements to relate to, and go, yes, it's cool. Not that I relate to Batman, by the way. I don't think I'm Bruce Wayne by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, it's just some things will bring me in, and this doesn't. I don't think.
People should direct
even
themselves
Image.
to go on.
Sorry, even Image themselves do 100% now to categorize this book on the back of the trade paperback, where it says the genres, and it'll normally say sci-fi. It'll maybe give it sci-fi and horror, give it 2 genres. This calls it contemporary fantasy, romance, fashion, comedy, anxiety.
There's
That's
not even
the
like
genre.
a crime mystery thing on there. There's a bit of crime in there. I wouldn't even say anxiety was a genre in itself, but
The fact that it
mean-
starts with contemporary fantasy,
yeah,
that sort of made me think a little bit more into that this is part of it is her fantasy world, like because
yeah.
what else about it is fantasy if you were taking that out.
Yeah.
Can I also add the reason why we're actually reading this book this week? So basically, like Chris from Off My Shelves done a celebration image video, and me joking, I literally googled like the top image books, and I was going through the list. I just thought, just pick a random one. What the hell is Snotgirl? That's why I said in my recording of that video. Of course, Rich then picked it because of that. But like, it actually scored not high. It was kind of mediocre in the image ranking system. You know, Invincible and Walking Dead were all quite high, and Snotgirl was in the middle. So it's not it's not too bad. It's mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I mean-
got a following.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's got obviously a very hardcore following, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite a cult following. So I think
Yeah.
Brian Lee O'Malley hasn't done a lot mainstream comics. Anyone that's read Scott Pilgrim and enjoyed it would probably pick this up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. John is got a comment here. He says he doesn't think that this whole thing is resolved. Without going into the spoilers, this book is listed as ongoing with 15 issues released in March 2020, but it could be a pandemic-related hiatus. So does it go? So it's not just 15 issues done.
There's 3 trades out at the moment, which is the 15 issues, and then they've said that it's coming back later this year. It was put on. It was having a temporary hiatus anyway for some reason, but then that hiatus has been extended because of the pandemic. But yeah, later this year it's coming back.
Right. Nice. Cool. Liam is definitely picking up on the fact that it says contemporary fantasy. He says it's the important one there. Which, now that you say it, does kind of make sense. Connie is here. She's very late. She's hello, and she says that she will read the book tomorrow. And yeah, so Phil is maybe trying to tell you to not waste your time, but the score,
Make your mind up.
the score will hopefully give you an indication if you should jump in or not. Speaking of, shall we go into that?
I am good to go.
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay. Cool. So, guys, if you've read the book, do let us know your score. Richard's going to give his own score as well, but we will add his score to the audience score to not confuse things. We don't want 5 scores. So, Rich, do you want to tell us your thoughts and scores first?
Yeah, I mean, I did really enjoy this. I really had a good time with it. It made me laugh. You know, in the middle of reading all the other stuff, general superheroes or crime or horror, this was just a nice change of pace. I thought it was fun. I thought it was the mystery side of it was intriguing, and then I liked the anxiety stuff. I like that it shines a light on that. Like, there's not a lot of comics that are mainstream that are doing that. My scores are really difficult. Because I did really enjoy it, but I can't give it like a really high score because I do think it had its flaws. The biggest one for me was the timing, and I didn't really know when I was at any point in the story. Like, it just sort of kind of jumped, and it put me off balance a little bit. And again, these things might be addressed in another volume, but a couple of the characters just seem to be one character on one page and then another character on another page. So that was a little bit jarring for me. But from where I'd written down my score, I've come up half a point based on what Liam was saying, because Liam's actually thought about it even more intensely than I have. And
He's that kind of guy.
I really liked some of the stuff that he was saying. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Nice.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. Philip, dash our dreams, please.
Taking some inspiration from Liam as well, he made a comment there, and it said, doesn't love it and doesn't hate it. And I think that's where I'm at. I don't love it and I don't hate it. It's not a book to hate. There's nothing that's terrible. It's just, it doesn't grip me, and that's okay. Not every book's going to do that. There are parts of it I did like. I was rooting for the wrong people. Maybe I'm not sure. I was rooting for Charlene. I liked her a lot. I thought Lottie was a bit. It was hard to like, to be honest. And Caroline, I knew there was something on with her. I think the inclusion of the police officer detective guy is really creepy. For whatever reason, he is a stalker, and I'm sure he maybe has a big part to play later on. But in this volume, it just came across as creepy. like and kind of unnecessary because I don't think he added anything to it. Even next to the pills, I'm still not convinced I know what the pills do. To be honest, even talking about it, I'm not sure what the pills do. And also, we didn't have like killer snot. I wanted the
Super
snot.
snot.
Yeah, I wanted to do something. Don't just be regular snot. Just we all have that. They just give us something a bit different. But as I said, I don't love it and I don't hate it, and I have improved my score by talking about it because the intrigue has got me more intrigued. And a line from you, Scott, earlier on, it's like it's an average book with a sprinkle of intrigue.
Intrigue, yeah.
So that sprinkle for me is worth half a point. So I'm going 5.5 average
Okay.
plus a sprinkle, 5.5.
Right. Okay, all right. Great, thank you very much. Shane?
I'm pretty much same as Phil. But for me, the intrigue part did grab me a little bit more. But every time it grabbed me, it was just pushing me further away with all the parties and the extra padding in the book. I know it had to be there,
Yeah.
to show her decline and stuff. But for me, it wasn't what I wanted to read. I wanted more of what happened to this girl in the bathroom. Did she kill someone? Does that pill turn you into something? Or does she just black out and someone come in and did it and she's getting blamed for it? I wanted that sort of thing because I love a murder mystery or just a mystery. And it was too confusing. Like Liam has nailed it for me.
Yeah.
Making me feel more on that side of it. But then there was just so many interactions with people where I was thinking, okay, this person has to be real. Someone else is interacting with them. And that's the issue I have when you put an imaginary person in a book and other people respond to them. It's too much. So you have to give me something in the book that lets me know either one way or the other. I should be able to figure it out by the end of the book just from reading that volume where I'm at. And I love a volume that completes itself. You can leave cliffhangers, not pushing someone off a building cliffhanger, but cliffhangers like the police officer and
Like
what happened to
Fairyland?
I Hate Fairyland was a complete volume. But like I said, I did kind of want to read on. I would have read another 50, maybe even 100 pages if that's how long this book was, and I wouldn't have been disappointed. But I'm probably not going to go read volume 2 on my own. If it shows up on the herd, I'll read it. Otherwise, no. Talking with you lot, though, I have raised my score. I was going to give it a 4, but now I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Wow.
Nice.
Great, okay.
Crossed out 4 in the top of my notebook. I wrote 5.5 underneath.
I was 3 originally, and I went to 5, and then that sprinkle got an extra 0.5.
The sprinkle. I'm glad I said it.
Yeah, you had to said it, and we got a 5, right?
Okay, so we got a few scores in. So we've got Johnny's giving it a very admirable 9 out of 10. We'd love to know your reasons why. That's a great
That's
score.
on par with Kingdom Come.
But
Yeah,
mate,
I would
there's a
rather read
comic for
Kingdom
everyone,
Come
okay? There's a comic for everyone, all right? And John loved this so much that he's read all the volumes today.
Please drop me a message on Instagram and tell me if everything's real. I need to know before I go to bed tonight. Thank you very much.
Andy has given this a contemporary 7. Snot a bad book. Very well, very good. Great there. We've got Martin. He said, Scott was right when he said this is like Marmite. I'm not sure if I loved it or hated it, what was real or not real, but the only thing I do know is I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. Great, thank you very much. And then Liam, he says, art was just okay, story was good, but it was mostly down to the mystery and intrigue behind it. I will read on to find out what the F is happening. 6.5 from me. Great, so we've got them at the moment.
And JWD confirmed it doesn't get resolved.
3 volumes in.
Okay, so my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I really got on with the vibe of this book. This is something that deals with mental health, and it's really refreshing and nice to see that, this is brought up in a comic. Even though it is in this kind of fashion bloggy type world, but I think that was a kind of a cool vehicle to kind of use for this kind of issue as well. The pacing was a bit, it did jump here and there, but that didn't really hinder me too much with the story and the enjoyment of it. The only thing I was really thinking of was the intrigue and who is Cool Girl, like why is Cool Girl, and is it real? And I was always just thinking of Fight Club and that kind of thing. Is any of this real? Is it all going on in her head, and that kind of thing? But the art was great. Like I know it was, written by the writer of Scott Pilgrim and Leslie Hung. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich. She wasn't involved in Scott Pilgrim, no, but I got that kind of vibe.
The world.
Yeah. I got that kind of vibe. So I think Leslie did well with that as well. But yeah, everything just looked great. Whenever people were meant to look pretty, they looked gorgeous. And I really liked that. Yeah, fantastic read, and I was so intrigued at the very end that I went straight onto a website to add the other volumes to my basket to buy them tonight, and I'm definitely going to be doing that. But so for me, my score hasn't changed. I'm very happy with my score, and I am matching Rich with a 7.5.
Nice.
So there we go. So scores are in. Right, so we had Rich's 7.5, and then the rest of the audience scores was a 9, 7, 6, and 6.5, and that averages out to 7.2. If you add that to Phil's 5.5, Shane's 5.5, and my 7.5, we get a total of 6.4 on the leaderboard. Okay. So let's go ahead and see, does it make the top 10? Just off. So 7 out of 10 is the lowest you need to be to get onto the leaderboard, onto the top 10. But this is where it will be further on. So it will be just above Klaus, The New Adventures of Santa Claus, and just below Kaiju Score.
Yeah. I mean, Scott's happy because it means he doesn't have to edit the top 10 this week, so he's definitely happy.
A little bit.
Yeah. But I think that's fair, in all fairness. I mean, what was the 10th book there? Sorry, the Battle for the Coil?
Yes.
I suppose they're completely different types of books, really, but it wouldn't be up there with that, surely.
So, Rich, as this was your pick, how do you feel about that score?
I mean, yeah, obviously I think it should have been slightly higher because I said 7.5.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, all right.
I don't like the disappointment in our guest voice.
I'll put it this way: we have had guests before in the show for last season, and their books scored 3. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but they read the book and realised that it was a 3.
Before we go as well, John did give his reasons to why he said 9 out of 10. He said it had hooked him from the get-go. He could relate to the characters. There was also a will they, won't they between Lottie and Caroline, which he liked. It also had extreme diversity, so race, gender, sexuality, which he hasn't seen much in comics, so it was a bit different. So it sounds like it was a bit of a breath of fresh air for him.
I must have missed the sexuality part. Who was anything of it? Who was not?
I mean,
straight.
There wasn't much, but I think you were supposed to be slightly led to believe that Lottie and Caroline might have a thing.
Yeah, surely.
But I don't think it was mentioned anywhere else.
Yeah. It was definitely implied in terms of they were quite flirty with one another. I think certainly Caroline was quite flirty, wasn't she? So
I definitely agree that. I definitely think that sexuality was very. It seemed to be very easy. There was no, it was just like get with whoever you fancy. That's what it felt like. The vibe of the book.
Yeah. Even at midnight, it turns out that it was Charlene kissed her. Like Caroline definitely implied that we get kissed tonight type thing at midnight.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it. That was our chat about Snotgirl Volume 1. Green hair, don't care. But before we go, let's go ahead and tell you what we've got coming up next week. That's right. So for episode 21, which is halfway through volume 2 of our show, we will be kicking
What was that?
off. Oh, wait, it's not. Wait, it's not. That's wrong.
If I remember, this happened last year with
It
Dean.
did
I think
happen
Dean
last
said
year,
something. Yeah.
Dean said the same thing. Anyway,
Math is
we're nearly
hard.
halfway. But anyway, for this wave, we are going to be focusing solely on Batman, with the run-up to the Batman movie coming out. Is it March 11th it's out?
4th.
March
March
4th?
4th. Yeah.
Okay, so beginning of March. So for the next 3 weeks, we will be reading Batman books. But we're just going to tell you what we've... Oh, we should reveal all of them.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and tell all of them. So first up, yeah, like you've just seen, we do have Batman Mad Love. And then after that, I'll just show you this. We also have Batman Year 1 coming up after that. And then after that, we have Batman The Long Halloween. So we are telling you now because the Batman Long Halloween is 12 issues. So we want to give you guys as much time as possible to get that read before we get on to chatting about it. But we are very excited for Batman Month. This is going to be very cool. And we're hoping that you'll all join in as well.
I'm really looking forward to next week's pick because I love the animated series and I've never read this and it looks fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Kevin is coming in saying Mad Love already gets a 10 and a 10 from him.
We'll take it. Return that for next week.
There we go. Yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone. Guys, you want to go around and say what's coming up on your channels? Rich, I know you're just on Instagram, so I will go ahead and put the link for your Instagram in the chat for everyone to go ahead and follow you if they haven't already. But Philip, do we have another weekly video from you? You're actually being quite consistent lately.
Yeah, I've been quite consistent, so I'm due a break. You know, this is my break time now. I've worked very hard. No, truth be told, I've been away for a few days, so I haven't got anything planned this week.
Yeah, right.
Come towards the end of the month, who knows what's coming.
Who knows? All right, nice. Shane?
Well, you should know. It's your channel. You should know what's
That's the thing. I don't know. That's the problem. No idea.
I just want to let everyone know that Dawn of Comics Quiz Night 16 still has 2 more days on the viewer competition. So if you haven't entered, just head over to my channel and watch Dawn of Comics Quiz Night 16. And you'll find the clue.
If you can't figure it out, then message me and Phil and you can pay us for the answer. Do that. Great. Yeah, Shane. So yeah, everyone go ahead and look at that. For myself, this is snuck up very quickly, but Comic Airwaves is on next weekend. We are prepared. I promise. We are doing stuff in the background as always, and we can't wait. So it will be on the 26th at 8:30 p.m. in the GMTs. So do go ahead and look at that. And then the day after, me and Amy should be doing the next auction, so do keep your eyes open for that as well. But that is all from me. But that just leaves the very last thing for us all to do, as always. It is time to get your waves out. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. We will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Love you.